How often do you get up here?
I get up here 3 times a year.
Okay.
Most of the time. I guess pay my child support. No, I don't have child support. I'm not a football player. We're not going to go into all the football players getting in trouble unless you want to.
Let us not talk football for at least 15 minutes.
Okay. I am curious though. Like, you've been around sports your whole life. Like, is this hysteria? I was going to say
no,
hysteria.
do you know what it is?
Hysteria?
I don't know if it is. I used to call, when I was on the radio and on television in Los Angeles, on the Best Damn Sports Show, period, one of the greatest shows ever in sports.
Yeah, we could get it up here.
Yeah. We can get it. Yeah, you could?
Yeah,
because it was on Fox, and Fox tried to conquer the world. I used to call them savages, and they used to laugh and giggle. And then I start seeing things that go on, and then I just start thinking that the world now, not that they didn't do anything wrong and that they shouldn't, shouldn't be held, their feet to the fire when they do something wrong. But man, that's like a lot of guys are coming out of the footwork or out of the woodwork about domestic violence. It's just a lot. I mean, what do? Do you not let them marry? Do you treat them like gladiators and let them perform? And then when they go back in the room,
well, I mean, not let them marry. Like that's an issue for the other day. Like the league doesn't know how to handle a day-to-day situation.
Right.
Like they don't know what should he play.
They don't know how to handle Twitter. That's what this deal is. So much accessibility, and I don't know everybody's situation. But if you just get a case, if you just got a case in the last 2 weeks, you should get kicked out of the league because because he said, if you have a problem, I would say, hey, you should go to your mama's house because I have an anger management problem, and you didn't cook my rice long enough. I don't know what the deal is, but it is becoming a situation where it's making the league look really bad, and it's making. It's putting a look on, because everything in America is color. That's the problem. But they are literally trying to paint this crazy picture of these well-dressed, I don't know. It's one guy, this dude who I saw on Twitter, man, I didn't want to retweet it. I just looked at it, and I look at all the commentary. And he was like, 100% of all the guys with domestic violence in the NFL are Christian. Does that mean Christianity promotes domestic violence? And I was like, whoa, and he put #ISIS. And I was like, he can get on. And I know what he's trying to say because Bill Maher said something about Islam. And I was like, they are starting to fight for the wrong reasons around the wrong things. And so I just read Twitter now, and I read Facebook, shake my head, and
sometimes getting involved is a dangerous thing right now. So
but even reading people who think they might be some sort of anonymous is dangerous. Yeah. Like, we get that on this show, and we're not even coming close to any of these issues. I wonder if we can look at 10 guys. Like, you've been around sports your whole life, and you've had a seemingly different, and maybe I'm assuming something here, but you've had a different outlook on the game, especially since you've retired and seen it from the spots that you've seen it since. Yeah. Like, there's 10 people, there's 10 D-bags that we're looking at and saying, these guys are idiots. And we all know they're idiots, but then we're saying it's that sport.
I know, but this is the crazy thing. Why they say it's that sport. One, it's so aggressive. Two, they're trying to make it less aggressive, which is the craziest thing. They are taking so much out of football. Like, you can't look at a quarterback. You can't.
Colin Kaepernick can't swear. He got fined for it.
Yeah, and I remember, this is the craziest thing. You can't be a football player on the field anymore. Like, everything is then looked at and repeated and repeated and looked at from this angle, that angle. And your mama used to wear curls, and your daddy probably still wear curls. Like, that's what made this kid this person. And when you look at it, man, if there's a call, all the players are now experts. All the players are in the booth with the referee looking at pictures of what happened and what could have happened, to the point where I don't think the referees are realizing the same thing the people inside the garage, in the parking garage, didn't realize when they started putting the machine where you can prepay. Right. All of a sudden, that lady with the bad attitude and all the, the smoke around her nose is no longer in the booth.
You didn't have to pay
That's
her.
What's going to happen to football. They're not going to need referees. And everything that's human about the game is becoming mechanical. You can't swear. The no fun lead. You can't celebrate. You
can't spike a football on a goal.
You can't do anything. Yeah. You can't. If you look at the ref crazy, I mean, one, I understand the chop blocking and
the dangerous stuff.
Yeah, I get it, but that's also a part of football. It's a part of what that game is. It used to be like you got to be like a man. You got to be like a savage. You used to be like that. Now you have to be a corporation. And you have to think like a corporation when trying to think like an athlete.
At the age of 23, 24, right. 25.
Right. I was able to do it because I always knew it was a show. And a lot of people got upset with me about my idea about it. I said, it's a show. And the only difference with this show is sometimes we can't tell you who's going to win. Sometimes. Sometimes I can tell you who's going to win if you show me who's reffing. I'm just saying.
How many times did you know that, John?
Oh, no. When I played basketball, man, I don't even know the rules. They found that out. I only know this the guy I got to guard? Yeah. He's not supposed to score? Mm-hmm. Yeah, your mother's ugly. You know, I know how to talk you out of it and play you. And is that your girl in the stands with the white blouse on? Yeah. Oh, she wearing white tonight? You know, that kind of stuff I would say.
Is that?
I'm like, you didn't marry her in a white dress, did you? You should at least have a light lavender, maybe purple, close to the black. I don't think you should have married that girl in white.
Okay, who responded the best to John Salley while on the court?
Oh my God, Alonzo Mourning hated Dennis Rodman and me. Dennis Rodman, one, has asthma all the time, and he runs like a stallion, and he would breathe on you like, and it sounds like he's panting, but he has asthma, and he would go by Alonzo and go, "Oh my God, you're so sexy, you're so sexy, you're so sexy." And Alonzo would turn around and look, and I go, "He thinks you're sexy." You know, something wrong with both of y'all. You do that. I said,
He's a serious dude, right?
Dead serious, and we would be in his face. I remember I was in his face one time, and Alonzo goes, man, I said, I dare you to swing at me. I said, if you miss, you're in trouble. And he just looked at me like, yeah, I might. No one says that. So I was like, yeah, if you miss, you're in trouble because I'm going to sue you and you're getting fined. Traumatic syndrome. Oh, my God. Anyway.
I think the Knicks found out he missed.
Yeah, he's not a good fighter.
No, he didn't.
And I used to say things to him because, you know, he's a black guy with big calves, right? So there's some Scottish and some Irish in there somewhere. I was like, hey, man, I know black people ain't got calves like that. You got some white guy, straight up Viking calves. You might be from Newfoundland, for real. And I say that type of stuff. I go, man, you know, you don't jump that high either. And you jump to block every shot. You get dunked on, it doesn't bother you. That's not black. That's not black. You know, we're always about the way it looks.